let's get into some of the things that we think Aventon can improve on.
Starting out, I think we have to call out the one that on paper I thought was gonna be a bigger negative than it actually was, and that's gonna be that 36 volt system. Stepping down from a 48 volt system, I imagined there was gonna be some power loss, the bike wasn't gonna feel as responsive. That was not the case. We had no problems getting up to speed, no problems carrying me and Ryan up the hill climb test that we were able to find. And overall, it was a pretty impressive system. And once you get going, you don't even realize or notice the lack of voltage, maybe a little bit off the line, but it was so minor.
And that was pretty much the conclusion I had on the Abound SR short rack version. Just no noticeable difference really between 36 volt and 48 volt, still plenty of power. The biggest one for me, and this is really a huge bummer, at least how the bike comes shipped, and that's going to be the seat post. They just didn't go with one that has more room before the minimum insertion point. So if you're 5'11" or higher, you're just going to need to find an aftermarket seat post, and maybe Aventon will make the change after the first batch goes out. We have no idea, but it's something we have talked to the team about, and I hope certainly gets fixed. I certainly can't fault them for not putting a high-end suspension seat post on this bike for this price with everything that's included, but a nicer one certainly would improve comfort. Speaking of comfort, I love the handle on the seat, but not a ton of cushion here. That's going to be a personal preference thing. And next, yes, this is a cargo electric bike, and the rear rack has a max payload capacity of 143 pounds, which is on the lower end of some of the other cargo electric bikes on the market. That might not matter for you, just depends on the load you're carrying. So certainly something to keep in mind. I would love to see it closer to 200 or maybe 250 pounds.
And that's only capable because the entire bike has a total payload capacity of 440 pounds. So there is a little bit of room in there for them to maybe put on a beefier rear rack.
Certainly not surprising to see this size battery on this electric bike, though we have seen cargo electric bikes with dual batteries. You still can get an impressive range and eke out that extra range thanks to the torque sensor, especially if you ride an Eco. And basically, that's all we could come up with. We recommended the previous generation Abound for being a more premium cargo electric bike, and I think now we can just double down on that because of all those tech features and a lot of the improvements. I think it's going to be a great seller and definitely one of our top recommendations if you're looking for a cargo electric bike.